Evening, everyone. Tonight's scoreboard salutes the military, those men and women who risk their lives to protect our freedoms. We honor those currently serving around the world and those whose service has ended but are still giving back and helping make America a better place to live. There's perhaps no place in need of our veterans more than inside the Beltway. Politicians rarely live in the real world, often out of touch with their hardworking, tax-paying constituents. As the midterm elections approach, there is a refreshing voice that is rising up, the voice of veterans who want to kick out the incumbents and take their place in D.C. Now, nearly 24 vets are running for elected office, looking to take back Congress and making a real difference. We are joined by 4 of them. Army veteran Alan West, who is running for Congress in Florida. Brian Rooney, a Marine Corps veteran running for Congress in Michigan. Catherine Jenrette, an Army veteran running for Congress in South Carolina. And Air Force vet Adam Kinzinger, who at age 32 is running for Congress in Illinois. Great to see you all. Thank you all so much for your service to this country. Brian, I want to go to you first because we have kind of a sports theme here at Scoreboard. Your grandfather, Art Rooney, was one of the founders of the Pittsburgh Steelers, one of the great franchises of all times. How did you get into the military?
I joined in law school, actually. I wanted to give back to the country that gave my family so much. You know, I'm kind of the product of the American dream realized, and I realized that, you know, you have to give back to the country that gave our family so much.
And after 9/11, I understand you recommitted to another term and you went to Iraq.
Yeah, I joined before 9/11, and I wasn't going to get out after 9/11 before the Marine Corps was going wherever we were going to go. Because the Marines are first to fight, as everybody knows, and I went to Iraq between 2004 and 2005, fought in the battles of Najaf and the Second Battle of Fallujah with 1st Marine Division, and, you know, we did a lot of good over there.
1st Marine Division, a fine division. Colonel West, let me go to you next. You are also a veteran of Operation Desert Storm, Operation Iraqi Freedom. Why do you think it's so important right now to get in politics?
Well, good evening, David. I think it's very important that we have individuals that understand the principles of service, sacrifice, and commitment, individuals that have taken an oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States, and we get those type of people up in Washington, D.C., who can be focused on, especially when we're fighting 2 major combat operations. They understand things at the tactical level and can help us with the strategic goals and objectives to ensure our victory, but also they understand the key domestic issues to ensure the viability and the success of our republic.
And Catherine, there is one word that Colonel West just mentioned, which is a word that you don't really experience much of when you go down to Washington and meet senators and congressmen. That word is service. They are supposed to be serving us, just the way the military has served us so honorably. They're supposed to be servants, not masters, and too often they act like the masters.
That's correct. We're paying them. They should be accountable and certainly transparent to all that elect them.
Isn't there something about having served in the military that makes you aware of what service really is?
Oh, I definitely think so. I think, you know, jumping out of a plane with my fellow soldiers and officers and that fear factor of knowing that someone's got your back and, you know, you're looking out for each other. You've planned the operation. You've taken in consideration every scenario that possibly could go wrong. You know, there's something to be said about a military person going up in Congress and really showing what we've got.
And Adam, the other thing is self-sacrifice. I mean, there is so little self-sacrifice. It's all about them. It's all about them being reelected, them getting another chance. I mean, the idea that an individual would sacrifice another term in Congress or the Senate or wherever for the sake of principle is practically unheard of in Washington.
You know, I agree, and that's what kind of bothers me a little bit. And part of the reason that I've really made the step to get into politics, I mean, I think we've had enough of people that go there and say, you know, my job is to get reelected. I want to earn a salary. I want to get a retirement. And reelection is the biggest, most possible thing that they can possibly get that they want. I tell you, and all the other people that are on this show tonight, what I love and what I see are people that say, you know what, it's about my country. It's about doing the right thing. And I think these are the same kind of folks, and it's the kind of thing I want to take to Washington, of saying, you know what, it's about doing the right thing. And if I don't get reelected, that's fine, because that's obviously where my service is at this point.